So I was looking at a podcast with like Wallow and stuff. Can't remember the name of the podcast, but I was watching that podcast and I had seen some clips like on Instagram or whatever for some reels from when he was on there. And I was like, man, this podcast seems kind of powerful. Let me, like, this episode with this dude on there. And I'm listening to it, and it was literally cookies in a sense of he was a kid that literally, when he was 18, he was just always in a smoke shop, a weed shop, right? And they were like, you always here. You should just damn near work here. But he had always been a hustler, I think, dude from the Bay Area, whatever it may be. And from there, he realized he became the dude that literally would purchase the weed for the weed shop. Basically, it was the cannabis shop or whatever. But this was before, it was really, I don't want to say legal, but before all the regulations and stuff came on it. And so what happened is he started to meet all the suppliers, right? And what they would do, I guess they would just throw them in a jar, put them on the shelf, whatever it may be. And what he had did one day, he realized, like, when he's working, when he's the one that literally purchases the product, and maybe he has another colleague who purchased product when he's not working, he started putting like little labels on it or little like dress it up a little bit. And he realized that it was shit started to sell just because, obviously the marijuana was probably good, but the presentation of it.
Yeah.
And so with that came was like, well, shit, I'm just going to start throwing this shit on there. And, it started working, whatever it may be. And so he was also a rapper. And he's just like, but at the end of the day, he was like, I'm a rapper, but I ain't like big time like that. You know what I mean? And so he just talked about how he went ahead and built that brand of cookies. And at some point, people loved the way that it looked, the bags and stuff or whatever, and how they sold it. And he had dispensaries pretty much paying him like $50,000 a month just to use the brand name, you know what I mean? Because what it drew. And he was just like, at that point, someone had like 4 stores, and they were paying him like $100,000 a month just to name the store Cookies, or just to put the decal and stuff like that in the store. And he was like, in my mind, like, if they paying me $100,000 a month, like, obviously they're making a killing off of it. It was he was like, it was money that I had never made before. And he got smart. He went and when you talk about marketing, he went and took the dude that I guess did the marketing with LRG, and he had split off, and he came up with Stance Socks.
Okay.
Right. So he went to that dude and was like, look, I got this brand. I'm looking to up my sales for it. Offered him equity in the company in increments like 5, like 15% when you hit those benchmarks. And literally just based off cookie products, cookie merchandise. I think he said this year that they're going to make somewhere around 55 million. And that's not even the cannabis. So towards the end of the episode, he said the cannabis in itself, as of right now, they were sitting between 400 to 600 million.
Right. There's so much.
You know what I mean? And what he did there was literally it started with a passion, because he was just like, he loved weed, dog. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so he took that, got smart, hired the right people. And I think that goes to say, like, in real estate, we can hustle so much in wholesaling and stuff like that, but wholesaling is marketing. And sometimes we get so caught up in trying to learn PPC, and we get so caught up in the cold calling and learning Facebook ads and all this stuff, when legitimately you can literally go offer, once you have a brand, you can start offering pieces of that equity to people who know how to take brands from this to that, or companies from this to that. And you start to become more of a business owner.
I mean, you got to learn how to make money first, right? Like, so you got to learn how to hustle to be able to make money.
Yep.
After that, you really should be hiring skills instead of learning skills.
100%. So I thought it was freaking amazing listening to it, because you're talking about a dude just from the streets who love weed and love music, and he was just smart in how he did. But he's like, I sat back, collected the checks for it, right? And he was like, and you don't want to get into long-term type deals. He was like, it was like a 3 or 4 year deal, and throughout that process, he was really able to learn
everything,
how to build something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I thought that was amazing. It was a great interview.
Well, there's so much fucking money out there.
Yeah.
Like, in business, like, you can create, like, direct to consumer stuff is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's really exciting. I'm looking at some stuff.
What did he say? He said, so he has like 43 stores in the US, right? 43 stores in the US. And something as simple as, I guess, Canada recently had reached out to him. And what the problem is, importing weed to Canada.
Yeah.
You can't really do it. So he's going to have to build a full ass infrastructure in Canada. But a lot of other countries want the product. So it's going to be pretty much like a distribution center in Canada. and he said he had got an order for 1 something ton, 1 trick ton, or I don't.
A large number.
A large number. He's like, we don't even have the infrastructure to fulfill that order. But like, think about how much money that is, because this is a product that's already it's wanted. You just don't have the ability to produce it at the.
That's a good problem.
That's a good problem to have.
That's an amazing problem.
Because guess how easy it is to freaking find funding for something like that.
Yeah.